Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel rusty at this.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while since we just sat and talked.
Yeah. We
about
had
stuff.
a little, to pull behind the curtain a little bit, we had at least an episode or two ahead of us, and what with my fiance Mallory had our birthday at the beginning of October, and I had a bunch of stuff at work, and
Merry time was had by all.
and we had a great time. Everything was a lot of fun, and I also have been part of Mallory's birthday present was she was really wanting Baldur's Gate 3, and like I've talked about before on this show specifically, it has been a game that I've been falling in love with and really enjoying. And
chugging right along.
And as I do with any games, I don't just play a game for a week or for a day or for a short spell. I don't. It's just who I am, and I've noticed that, because it's hurt me in the past. I think I've noticed that like most people probably will play a game or give a game like a month, maybe 2 months at max, or 6 weeks before they go on to like either their like regular games that they play or something else or some other new game.
Right.
And I have realized the hard way sometimes is that I don't just give that amount of time to a game. I will, if I'm going to play a game and I like playing the game or I enjoy playing the game, it's going to be my mainstay for 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
At the very least.
Sometimes I can get away with 4. And then I'm like, okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But that's just who I am, and that's okay. And but at the same time, I've realized like if I really get into a game, I think I've said it on the show before about like multiplayer games where we'll all as a friend group play a game.
Yep. And
then everyone as they do, I'm pretty sure if I had numbers and I had a graph, there is a trajectory of fall off.
Yeah.
And then prolonged, like there's this longevity of me persisting even afterwards. And so that's just a little inside. So needless to say,
I know how that feels now, by the way.
What you mean?
That happened to me with Deep Rock.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played that shit for a good while on my own. My gunner is now like a fucking 3-star.
Really?
I've unlocked just about everything in the shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I didn't know you, but you've been playing pretty consistently since then. Wow. Okay. I know you still every now and then you'll hop in and dabble in
just
Destiny.
See what's what.
I know you'll dabble with Destiny every now and then.
Yeah.
Or you'll have other. I know for a fact, like for a while you were going hard into Armored Core for good reason.
Yes, I played that fucker 3 times.
Right.
Get each of the different endings.
Yeah. And then of course, before that it was the new Final Fantasy. Which still needs to have a
less than halfway through,
which is crazy.
Jesus,
you clocked, and I will say you put some work into that.
Oh
game.
yeah,
you were clocking some hours in that game, and you're like, oh yeah, 40. What was it?
47%.
47%
is all I have to show for my work. I'm like, what the fuck?
You were busting your ass, and you're like, not even 50.
I
bitch.
just beat Titan. I'm like, man, that's got to be at least like 60, right? And then I look it up. It's like, no. Not even close.
We haven't even gotten to you haven't even gotten to the
not even halfway,
the pinnacle of the game. I can imagine if I was to wager. But anyways, so that's I'm prefacing a lot and I'm making excuses because the beginning of October was a little crazy for me with the work stuff that I had going on, with celebrating Mallory's birthday and trying to get a cool party, getting everything ready for that, as well as Mallory obviously has been falling in love with Baldur's Gate, which is a game right now that's hitting that niche where I'm also enjoying it too, because I'm in that span where I think everyone else except for Ethan maybe is still playing it, but everyone's kind of fallen off a little bit, and I'm still trucking along. And I've clocked some hours in that game and haven't even made it out of Act 1, which I think there's 3 acts. But so needless to say, the past past couple weeks have been a lot, and so the backlog of episodes has now caught up to us.
Yeah,
and
something's got to give.
The well has run dry. And again, I will say, I
mean, the well's still got some water in there. We just haven't brought the bucket down.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, it has been a while since we've done this sort of thing where we're again pulling behind the curtain a little bit. We're recording this the night before, which usually never happens.
I know, it's crazy.
I know we've had a great track record, and I'm really proud of us. But again,
it just feels weird.
Yeah.
It's not even that long a span of time. It's just we usually record like earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And each day without recording just feels like an eternity.
You're right.
And
yeah.
I'm like, when did we last record again?
Exactly.
What year is it?
Right. The last thing we recorded was with Myron.
Oh yeah, that was like 5 months ago.
Oh
right?
Yeah, that was forever ago, right?
Jeez.
No. Yeah.
That was back when it was hot outside.
Which that's a whole nother topic. We won't even need to get into. It's great. We live in the South, like we've mentioned before, and I think for everybody, really, it's been hot. It's been hotter than usual for the past few months, and I'm pretty sure for us in the state of Louisiana, where we live in, that we had record-breaking. This is the craziest part. I think I've said this before. We broke records
consistently
by how many records we broke. We had record-breaking heat for, I want to say it was 30-ish days in a row, which is another
a whole fucking month,
which is also a record broken as well. So it's like, okay, so we broke records breaking records.
I wanted it to die.
You wanted it to die?
I wanted myself to perish so that I did not have to suffer.
It was hot.
Fucking stifling.
It was
heat.
hot. It was sweaty. It was stanky.
It was vile.
Gross. It was nasty. But out of nowhere, we had this one. What was it? It was probably 3 days ago.
Yeah, just about a little cold front.
Yeah, it was like a Sunday or a Monday, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it was brisk.
Oh yeah,
it was cool. Humidity was way down.
It was beautiful.
So even though the sun kind of warmed up a little bit, it wasn't nearly as like stifling.
Yesterday, dude.
Cool breeze.
Oh my God, it was cold. It was rainy.
Oh yeah,
that was my day.
Yeah, dude. It was a little. It was overcast all day. Little gloomy. But the thing is, it also normally it always rains around here. Right. It is. We live in a swamp. It's just part of the comes with the territory.
Swamp.
It rains a lot. It always does. Same thing with Florida. Same thing with we're in the Gulf. It rains.
Shit sucks.
It rains maybe for a handful of minutes and it's done. But sometimes we have some seasons where it rains a lot. Well, again, we don't get snow really, but we'll get rain in the wintertime sometimes. But again, speaking of like breaking records and stuff, we've been in a bit of a drought all summer. Where it's been a dry summer, which is kind of unheard of for us. At least this much. And so the fact that it rained,
it was a miracle.
It's like, oh shit. It's only rained. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times it's rained in a while.
It was so nice.
But yeah, all day was overcast. It was a little chilly. It wasn't cold, just chilly, a little gloomy, and it was like rainy and stuff. It was so relaxing.
Perfect.
Dude, I was in the office. I had just finished up some work and I kind of like taking a break. I don't know if you ever, I work at like an office job. And so like, there are some moments throughout the day where like I kind of will just like take a little stretch break where I'm like I've like kind of finished. I've hit a like a checkpoint. I've hit a pause where I could reasonably take a lap around, go to the coffee machine, go get some water, go use the restroom or whatever.
Right,
bruh. I had one of those moments. I stood up, took my little headphones out, went to go walk around, and it had like started to kind of rain a little harder because, like I said, it's been sprinkling on and off all day or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, it rained a little bit harder, and it was just perfect. Where I was inside, it was cozy, it was all gloomy, and it was rainy. And I talked to my coworker. I was like, no lie, I'm about to fall asleep right now. It's so,
yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it really. We haven't had this kind of weather in a while, and it kind of feels nice. But yeah, so it's been crazy.
Yeah.
And I can already tell that we haven't done this in a while because I feel like I can't stop talking. We haven't even talked about what we're supposed to talk about today.
Right. It's only been 10 minutes.
That's okay. Hey, Like I said, I have to get a lot off my chest because we haven't done this in what feels like 2.5 weeks.
Right. This is just the preliminary, the workup.
Yeah. I have to build up. I have to knock off the dust.
Mm-hmm.
I would like for you to recount the story of what happened at the top of our night.
Okay.
Because
so I had what we were going to watch picked out already. I had this whole plan.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this works out pretty perfectly. It's still going to give us like a decent amount of time to work with. We're going to have plenty of time afterwards. And we ordered pizza and everything.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect setup.
Dylan doesn't tell me what we watch beforehand, even though I ask him most times.
He
always likes it to be a surprise,
Right.
which I like, and I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Now, I pick out what we're gonna watch.
Yep.
I put it in the PS5. I get it all booted up. We hear the fucking sunrise logo. Right.
And I had this sneaking suspicion. I was like, yeah, because that usually entails Gundam.
Right.
And so my thought was, we had talked about this recently, probably, again, when I say recently, probably about a month ago or so.
Right.
We were talking about Gundam stuff or robot stuff or whatever, and we were talking about the fact that it's been a while since I watched Unicorn.
Yeah.
So I had this sneaking suspicion in the back of my head. I was like, is he about to hit me with Unicorn right now? And then, so continue.
And no. What I had picked out was the old CG animated series, MS Igloo, which was still in the Universal Century.
Right. It's still something,
but it was completely on the other end of the spectrum.
It is also definitely something that I would like to watch. I haven't seen.
He's seen like bits and pieces. He knows about the Hildolfer. I'm like, oh, buddy.
Perfect.
They're 30 minutes each. There's 3 episodes. That's already like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, he's not gonna be. He'll never expect this.
Yeah.
And then he hits me with is this Unicorn? Or I'll be honest, I thought you were putting on Unicorn, and I'm like,
you can say it. He paused the movie and then went.
I didn't think about it, and I was just like, fuck. and so I changed my mind. Because this motherfucker reminded me how long it's been since we watched Unicorn. I'm like, well, now I gotta bring up that whole 7-episode OVA. They're all like an hour long.
Exactly. I was like, damn.
Fuck.
So
be prepared for the next 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, dude. I think we're gonna try and. I would like to sprinkle in a couple of these as we go.
We can't do it like we did Ava.
No.
I don't have the energy for that.
No.
We gotta space that shit out.
Yeah. But
yeah, that's gonna be the only Gundam you'll see on the show for a while.
That's okay. It's a great one. And to be honest, I think that specifically I need to give it space.
Mm-hmm.
Because space on the show, by what I'm meaning. Like, I need to honor it in a special way.
Right.
Because this was the first Gundam show you ever showed me.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first Gundam anything I watched all the way through.
Yep.
You definitely had shown me clips and models. Like, you showed me a lot.
Oh yeah.
But we never sat down and committed time and watched anything all the way through, like we did Gundam Unicorn.
Yeah.
And so this is special. And so the fact that we're going to probably cherish it, we're going to cherish it a little bit. I'm going to let it simmer for a while.
All right. Due diligence.
I think it's worth it, and I think it is special to me. So, and it also has some of my all-time favorite suits in it.
Yes.
Dude, it's got some of the coolest designs.
Oh,
and may I say, right off the get-go, right out the gate.
Start off strong.
Bruh. I love the Kshatriya.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned
good old
this.
quad wing.
Bruh, when I told you when we were watching it, I had specifically said that now having started here and thinking, wow, these are some cool designs, and then going through the absolute plethora of suit designs, different versions, different full armored variants, just like you name it. There's so many different nuanced versions of different things. Looking now going right now, revisiting it with that knowledge now, I got to look at the Kshatriya and was like, that is what a like full. I mean, that is like
that is a full armor Zaku.
That is the end game for what a Zaku would look like. I feel like it has the same vibe. It's got the same kind of build, but it's different. It's got the same color scheme. The wings have these have that same sort of like rounded edge with the little round jets or whatever. It just everything feels so like
Xeon.
Xeon-esque, which obviously
Xeonic, if you will.
Xeonic. Which makes sense for the faction that they are a part of, but just looking at it on its like on face value,
beautiful.
During this first episode, I was like, man, that is
you see a lot of it too.
Oh yeah,
that thing partakes in like most of, if not all, the action in this episode.
Right. Well, it feels like it is our establishing like what is this. The kind of action that you're going to expect in this show, which is really cool. So, yeah.
How about those funnels, huh?
Beautiful.
Love them.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It works. It takes on like 3 mobile suits at first. Like that's the first fight it has. And it just wipes them out. But we got to give that Stark Jagan pilot an honorable mention.
Yeah.
He did way better than any of his cohorts had any right to. But of course he ends up getting beamed right in half.
Beamed up.
Yeah. But put up a good fight.
You're right.
But yeah.
The art in this, even though it came out in 2010, 2011, I think it ended in 2014, but it started in 2010.
Yeah.
So between that span,
God, I can't imagine waiting 4 whole years for the conclusion of this.
Bruh.
Oh.
I can't either. That's
that would
crazy.
Have been torture.
For 7 episodes?
Ugh.
Or, well, I guess you said the OVA released first.
Yes. And they had like showings in theaters whenever it first aired.
I remember that. You told me about that. Didn't you say that you and Chase watched some of it or no?
Oh, no. We weren't able to see these in theaters.
Ah, okay.
Like this is before I even knew about it.
Interesting.
But yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. Like I said before, like the artwork looks like really nice for the kind of show that it is.
Oh yeah, real pretty.
It takes some really. It looks like a Gundam show. It takes all the same like art choices and all the things that you can imagine what like a Gundam show would look like, but it just feels. Again, when I first watched this, I didn't really think anything of it because it feels like it just looks like a well-animated anime. But then going back to some of the older stuff that has a sort of like old school anime feel, especially that stuff that comes out of like the 80s and 90s, has like a very characteristic look about it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's worlds apart.
Looking at this show, I'm like, man, this feels modern. This feels clean. It feels in the same universe as all the things that I've watched, but somehow, even though it's a few years later in the timeline that I've watched some things, it feels like technology has advanced in just like the setting.
Oh yeah.
And just like in just the settlements, what are they called?
Colonies.
And like just how the colonies operate a little bit, feel a little different and feel more new and high tech in a way, which is really cool.
Yeah.
For a show that like kind of takes place
which is nuts. It's
10, 20 years after
just a couple decades.
Yeah. What I mean, hey, that like even speaking towards us, we live in the 20s now.
Oh.
The 2020s now, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And I remember things back in the 2000s.
And
it's crazy to think how worlds apart we are from them.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the original iPods?
Oh God,
Those big chunky guys.
Yeah.
you remember the Razor flip phone?
Oh, dude, the fucking BlackBerry,
bruh. Like that was all like part of my like middle school, high school experience was a Razor flip phone, dude. If you had one of those, like if you didn't,
coolest,
bruh, not even. If you didn't have one, you weren't anybody.
Right.
Everyone
nothing.
Everyone had one. Like I can't even like that was the thing.
You
it's like,
saw
right.
a Razorless and you were like, oh,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Disgusting.
For a while, I didn't have one.
A way of me drink.
It wasn't even a way of distinguishing, like, oh, he or she has a Razor flip phone.
Right.
They're cool. It was the other way.
Have one?
Exactly.
What the fuck what are you?
Everyone has one, and the fact that you don't, wow,
speaks volumes.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
you
damn.
disgusting creep.
Right. But anyways, that was less than 20 years ago.
It sure was an era.
Yeah.
The most minuscule stretch of time.
The birth of texting.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm saying all that to say, like, it doesn't surprise me that
we went from RX-78 to fucking RX-0.
Mm-hmm.
The unicorn. The beast of possibility.
Bro, what a cool design for a unit.
Mm-hmm. It starts off so like unorthodox, like the antithesis of what you'd expect a Gundam to be, other than the white paint scheme. But as soon as the NTD activates, it's like, oh okay,
I see what this is.
Right.
This feels, at least the first few times we see it, and we see it in action and things like that, it feels like the White Glint.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it is this unique, different, stand apart unit that just has this white color scheme that is just super cool and clean and like
fast.
Oh, super fast. And you're like, oh hell yeah, dude. Just envious.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody wasn't like, man, I want
newest,
one of those.
shiniest car.
Of course. But enough about the look and the design of everything. This episode, episode 1, does not pull any punches.
Moves at the breakneck speeds.
I mean, with killing people.
Oh yeah. Your friends dead. Your family dead.
Your dad dead. That guy and that robot over there dead.
Your home destroyed.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's standard fare. It's
a little bit, but I think it's just
being a child in this universe.
Trauma
is an occupational hazard.
The fact that it is an occupational hazard. The fact that not everybody grows up just jaded is
right. There is always a risk.
Oh yeah,
that you will become a pilot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, forcibly.
Right, through some means or another,
whether it be coincidence or sheer luck.
Right. Or if you just bumble your way into a cockpit.
Yeah. You could also just fall inside one.
Yeah, you might just be stupid and that it might just work out for you. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. Poor Amuro, rest in peace.
He was fucking crazy.
He was.
He was still stupid, like a stupid kid, but holy shit, why is your first instinct to just go towards an experimental mobile suit and get in the cockpit?
Pretty sure we had
a disaster is currently unfolding.
I'm pretty sure we had this whole rant when we
watched probably it. Did
when we watched it. I'm pretty sure we watched the original.
It bears repeating.
It does. It does.
I can't understand it other than like the powers that be forcing you along to make the story happen. But God, see, that'd be me. That'd be me. I don't even have to be stupid. That's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
If I see a single mobile suit unattended, I'm going for it.
Of course.
Motherfuckers better restrain me.
Right.
But
man.
It's
the thing that pops into my head is like, that the picture that's usually in reference to sexy images on the internet when it's like it looks like it's like some sort of like jury or like a judge table, whatever. And it's the table with the guy with the microphone.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole crowd of people holding him back, and it just says wood. That's the first thing that came to mind was that picture of like the second there's a Gundam unattended and there's even a little bit of conflict. Dylan's wood.
You would need a crowbar.
Just give it to me.
Pry me away.
Exactly.
I would be shoving people over. Old ladies, children. No one would be safe.
No one is safe. from me and my robot.
That is my dream.
Of course it is.
You cannot stand between me and my dream when it's right fucking there.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there.
Anyway,
yes. So what I was saying is that this show, the episode number 1 so far has a handful of like the normal, like the standard fare when it comes to like Gundam violence of like the kind like the cutting off of like robot limbs and the blowing up of stuff and the kind of like the internal view as an explosion happens really quick and like the kind of hard cut away. So it feels kind of like a little tough. But what I'm talking about is like the psychological death in this. And it's like there's a certain point when the tension rises in the show and we'll get there in a second. And the fight breaks out. The fight that I remember. Yeah. And it's the attack on the colony. And I remember the first time I watched this, I had no idea I didn't know what the colony was, like the space colony, that it's like a tube in space in space that it has like it works.
Excuse me, sir, which tube do you hail from?
Which tube? Is it it works like for anybody that knows the Halo ring, where there's like on the inside of this tube there is there's like a civilization and there's an atmosphere, a whole city that like that is all around the inside of this kind of like pill-shaped cylinder that's like a little bit elongated. Whenever I first watched it, I didn't understand that really, and so I was kind of confused as to like, where are we?
It is based on like an actual design from a novel. I just can't remember who designed it.
Right.
But they're super cool.
It is a cool design.
Marvels of engineering and technology.
Yeah, exactly.
They're also super fucking fragile and are easily destroyed.
Well, I think that I think that for day to day. Oh, sorry, I can't get my words straight. For day to day use, or just floating in space and probably normal.
Yeah, they're as sturdy as they need to be.
Interstellar problems, they're probably as sturdy as they need to be.
Right.
But whenever you start throwing in giant robots with munitions,
machines of war with laser weaponry,
I think that I would be hard pressed to find something that could like withstand.
Yeah, the outer hull of those things starts looking a little dodgy.
Yeah,
but
you're right. There probably is something they could do to reinforce that. But
just put a beam coating on there.
Can you do that though?
You can if you have enough of it and you have the time.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I'm just trying to think realistically here. Is like, would that be too expensive?
Probably. They mainly use it to like shield mobile systems. Quattro.
Okay.
Put on the Hyakushiki when he was going to fight the O and the Cubile.
I know that there's technology to do that, but I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think reasonably in the realm of the universe of this.
Oh no, it won't happen.
No, what I'm saying is like, is that too expensive to make that happen?
Not only is it expensive, it would be considered eccentric,
right,
and zany. Even.
Yeah. But at that point, you're right. You could have an impenetrable colony, which is great.
Only for beam weaponry, though.
Right.
They fire off a rocket. That thing is...
And see, at that point, why waste the money?
You're right.
I think we're getting down to the bottom of this here. But needless to say, there's a conflict that happens where they break into the colony, which I feel like it's one thing. It is dangerous for mobile suits of any kind to have a conflict outside of a colony, a space colony.
Right.
That's dangerous enough. A rogue blast, a rogue whatever.
Oh yeah.
Hits the hull. Dunzo.
Yeah, that's just
vacuum.
Keep going.
Right. But the thing is, like but the term, the old idiom comes to mind: a bull in a china shop. whenever the mobile suits get inside, is all of a sudden it's like, man, now you're
terrestrial combat is. It's
messy because of the very aspect of like you being in a giant robot that is flying through the air inside this massive cylinder and 360 degrees. Well, I don't know how you'd measure that. All around you, above, left, right. If it ain't trees and parkland,
it's somebody's
high
house
rises
or a skyscraper.
Right. Or a road. It's everywhere. Yeah. There is no safe zone to fight. You can't just deflect a bolt into the air and just
be done with it. There is now a hole.
Yeah, exactly.
In the colony, the atmosphere is leaking. People are going to die now.
Yeah. You deflect a bolt up, it's going up into that neighborhood over there.
Yeah.
not
somebody's dog.
Yeah.
is now gone.
Right, not north, up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's crazy. So it's like the second that this kind of conflict happens is when it's like, oh shit, dude, we're like, no matter which way, even if you try to like, I'm trying to think about this from like how would you be safe about this? And there's just no way. What are you gonna do? There's just no way.
Somebody's not gonna care, and then a shot's gonna go off.
Exactly,
which always happens.
Is that the fact that there is a quad wing, super decked out Zaku inside this thing is bad, and then you and like your team of good guys that are trying to protect the homeland of this space colony are trying to.
I can only assume their thought process is kill the mobile suit first, fuck everything else. Figure that shit out later.
This is what I'm trying to say, is that there is a conflict going on, and it has now made its way inside. The person that has ostensibly started the conflict is inside, and you have to neutralize the threat. The only way to do that is with excessive violence, which is all. You see what I'm saying?
There's no good way.
No, it's this vicious cycle of like, there's no way you can like. You can tiptoe around like, oh, just don't shoot in this area, or oh, be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're you're like in
a flat plane,
you're right, or just in a civilian zone where you can like be strategic. Like there's no like you're walking on eggshells because the whole thing is a giant egg. You're inside the egg.
you are within the yolk.
Yeah. You are the yolk in this egg, and you're shooting off goddamn rockets everywhere, like a madman. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say that there is this catastrophe that is this breaking out. So there's let me backtrack a little bit. Our main character. Let's introduce the main character now.
Yeah,
Boninger.
30 minutes in, half an hour.
So there's a boy, a young boy, like in every Gundam series. He's a young guy.
Poor fucker.
A young guy.
This poor
has
bastard.
No idea what his future holds. It's him and all his classmates, and they're on like this observation deck area, just minding their own business on like a regular
about history, talking about the 1 year war.
Exactly.
How it started.
Right. And
how apt.
Oh God. There is this conflict that's breaking out, like what seems like far away on the other side of the space colony, which like if you were to walk there on foot would take forever because it is basically like the other end of a city.
Right.
But but like with most things, big and can fly around. That threat doesn't just stay contained to that one area. It makes its way over towards them.
Yep.
And when to reference again what I meant by like the death hitting harder emotionally is the fact that as Boninger and like some of his other pals,
and Mikot,
they're all trying to like help, like I guess open
just
the door,
to find a way out and evacuate.
Trying to safely evacuate.
Right. Those three are at the terminal trying to get the door open, whereas it seemingly his entire class is in front of the doorway, waiting to be let out. And as the
and before you continue, we have had a chance to meet different members of the class. We've had a chance to meet the class as a whole.
Right.
Like at this point in time,
name drop for at least each classmate, each direct member of the friend group.
We have, by the time this is happening in the show, we have had at least some level of rapport with like the classmates. Yeah, and it feels like, and this is what hurt me. It feels like a little bit like the original Gundam series, where there's just like a bunch, there's a bunch of kids, a bunch of young high school kids or whatever, a ragtag band of guys that are all guys and girls that are all good in their certain areas or whatever, or all
Where
just
there
part
were initially like 6 or 7 in the original white base crew, we they look as though they're about to match up to that number. However, as the fight progresses inside the colony, we get a stray little beam shot towards the door. And of course they duck and cover, like just trying to stay safe. But whenever they look back up, everyone is gone.
Yep.
Vaporized in an instant.
And at first, I will say...
We are now left with 3 children.
At first, I did not notice that in the first viewing of this show.
Oh, no.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And because of how it plays out, there is a Earth Federation suit that blasts through the wall to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, is that what caused it, or was it the beam that shot from Kshatriya?
So...
It happened so fast.
Yeah, they...
The conflict happens so fast, and it focuses a lot on the suits involved a little bit. And then and to make that moment really feel like collateral damage before they cut away to the 3 remaining class members, and all you see is just like a burnt observation deck area where they were standing on, and of course the girl involved is like, it's like freaking out,
right,
justifiably. And then of course that's when it hit me. I was like,
"Hey, they're just gone."
Right,
everybody's dead
at that point. Because I was really paying attention. I was like, really like, holy shit, dude! Like this is really intense. And I think I finally understood what was happening now, like in like what the space colony is, and I have a better understanding of what's happening right now and how scary this is.
Yeah. And
as I was watching it, and of course, like we get this very scary shot of like all 3 of them, their backs turned, and it's just this like burnt area, and of course they're all just staring there. And I was like, "Hey, yo, where everybody?" Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
They're all dead.
Oh, no.
And it's like, oh my god, because we just watched not long before that, we watched the professor of the class help evacuate everyone into a base or into like a bunker or whatever.
Shelter,
close the door, and then he immediately gets vaporized.
Oh yeah,
and we see it, and it's like
to a crisp.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because like, Marita, God save her soul, is just fighting off these Fetty suits.
Yeah,
and just hits a Rizel just wrong. Yeah, and nails its reactor.
Oh, and it's not even that too. It's like I think she commands the funnels to go kill this guy,
right? Take him out.
I mean, they just do what they do best,
right? It's like okay, and
she and the funnels hit the core, and she immediately is like, oh shit,
right? Now
in space it doesn't matter,
right? As we've mentioned before, these things are run by miniaturized nuclear reactors.
Yep.
Which in space, not a big deal. Who's going to give a fuck about a nuke in space, right?
Right.
On ground, in atmosphere,
yeah,
that is a nuke,
right?
You do not just set off a nuke
in a city,
right?
Inside a capsule. We told you it's an egg. We're inside an egg.
Yes,
we're inside an elongated egg, and you just set a nuke off inside it.
Yes.
How good do you think it's gonna go?
No more egg.
No more. No.
Right.
You got a big mess in your hands. What you got?
Yeah.
A lot of dead civilians and crying children.
No more would-be chickens.
No.
But yeah,
but one thing I can say is that I do like how they made that accident feel real.
Yeah,
because of
as dire as it should be.
Right, because of the fact that, for me at least, already she is really good in like out of atmosphere.
Right,
because that's her forte. Is like using this big ass suit in space. And the first time that she is in atmosphere and is having to deal with the resistance of air,
right,
and like moving and like
fighting multiple targets at once,
right?
There's no like quick dashing out of the way. She has to strain to control the suit,
right,
because of the gravity.
And there's one Fetty suit that's kind of like maintaining behind her, like that's keeping on her tail.
Right.
And she's like, "Get off my tail, dude!" It's like
Yeah.
it's just this thing is so heavy.
Right.
And so like
she's
so
able to like cut one of his arms off, disable his main camera,
Right.
Steal his beam saber.
Right.
After what she says, so heavy.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
like it is a trial.
Exactly. She's
After which she made it look so easy in space.
Yeah, she's having to put in some work here.
Amazing.
Which again, so it feels like she's a little out of her element, or at least out of practice with this new kind of environmental.
I'm sure she's done it before.
Right, exactly. But at least for this right here, it's like there is a bit of a handicap.
Right, you can tell.
Right. So it's like, so it already for me, and again, and what we saw before is in the beginning of this episode, she is just letting her funnels do this work.
Oh yeah,
and they are careless,
effortless.
I mean, effortless and careless about hitting the core. Every time she hits one,
they're still on like a preset.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, so it's again in space. She doesn't think twice.
Right.
She can just blast the cores and because every time she hits one with the funnels, a nuclear reaction goes off, and you see it, that big sphere of purple energy light or whatever every single time, and it's like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it all, I'm saying all this because then it makes sense for her to just tell her funnels to go kill that dude, and they do what they do best and just hit the core, and all of a sudden she's like, shit,
oh fuck,
I should have, I didn't mean it. Oh damn it.
Yep.
And then because at that point
you don't fucked up.
Yeah, right. This went from a little battle to like, that's when, I mean, there's a few things obviously, but that is the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
I feel like, where it's
war
like
crime.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's when everyone, because I'm pretty sure after that happens, like Boninger said himself, he's like,
There's a hole.
This is a war
in the colony.
This is war.
Oh yeah.
It's like we had just finished having a conversation recently, him and Audrey, about trying to prevent war. She was actively trying to prevent war, and all of a sudden this happens. He's like, bruh.
It's like, shit.
Either she lied to me, or she did a bad job, or I don't know, or
shit didn't work out.
Yeah, something did not work out, and this is the beginnings of a war. And it's like, yep, you're right, because because there's a lot of people that just died.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, holy shit, man. But it's a cool shot though to see on the outside.
Oh yeah,
like the metal heat
like
up.
You just see,
and then,
you just see a tiny little hole bust open in the atmosphere, starts leaking out. After which you saw like the full effect of the explosion.
Yeah,
which was so fucking cool.
It's cool looking. Yes. I mean, for the tragedy that it is, cool looking.
Yes,
because you are in atmosphere or in that, so it looks bigger. It may not be actually bigger. I'm not quite sure of the size of it all, but like it looks pretty big in space.
It's huge.
But the second like you see it in atmosphere and it like I mean, it blows up. You're like, oh shit. But like what I was meaning was like you were saying is that there again, what feels natural is we get a shot outside of the colony, like outside of this capsule or whatever, and you see the area in which the explosion's at heat up red hot until the center point, the apex of that explosion pops a hole in the I mean, as normal metal would, like you get it that hot with that amount of pressure, all that kind of stuff. The center of that explosion, or the red hot part of it, just pops like a balloon, and just air starts coming in. You're like, oh shit, dude.
Nothing you can do about that.
Nope. Not anymore. You can
get some bird lime in there. That'll fix it.
Yeah, I just put a little piece of gum in there.
Oh Jesus!
Block the hole.
Oh man.
Yeah,
it's insane, dude.
It's really.
I fucking love how this universe works.
Yeah. There are some great characters in this show. And I can't wait to see
Marita being one of my favorites.
Marita's a really cool character. I like the fact that I love the beginning of this story. There's a lot of interesting things at play here. There's a lot of things that I know because I've seen this show before. I think I've asked a lot of questions before, but I don't think that we know.
Right, before you didn't have like all the preamble.
Yeah.
But now you've got like, other than Double Zeta, you got the full course.
Of course. And so at this point, like I'm not going to spoil anything too much for anybody that's potentially watching at home, because this is if you haven't watched it, please do yourself the favor.
It's a disservice.
Find it, watch it, super cool. But needless to say, there are characters that are related to previous characters, like OG characters in previous ones. We get a little name drop to Bright Noah showing up. And you're like, oh yeah,
the
dude,
main man
the
himself.
main man,
Big slap.
yeah, big slap. He's not Big Tex, he's Big Slap.
Yep.
Unicorn is UC 99. Is that right?
93
Okay,
or 96. I'm not too sure.
cool.
My timeline is old.
Old and full of plot holes.
Oh God! Don't even get me started.
Oopsie. 96. 96. UC 96.
Yeah.
But anyways, the 1 year war takes place between 79 and 80. Is that right?
Yes. The war itself takes place during 79, and then at the tail end of it, that's when 80 comes around, and that's when it ends.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So the entire year of 79.
Yes.
Got it.
That's why they call it the 1 year
That's why they call it the 1 year war. Thanks, Grandpa.
Back in my day,
Back when I fought in the 1
we
year
had
war.
Zakus
We had Zakus.
and Goofs. Don't even get me started on the Gogs.
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen the Zam.
What a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I do not want to think about
Shut up, Grandpa.
Shut the fuck up, Grandpa.
Oh, that's good.
We would have won that war. It's like, yeah, Grandpa.
If it
whatever.
ain't
Just
for
take your meds and
Amuro,
go to bed.
yeah, we know. If it wasn't for Amuro and the stupid white base, we get it.
Shut the fuck up, Fetty. Grandpa!
You
can't say that anymore.
You can't say that. That's insensitive. You earthlings.
Oh my! Whoa!
Yeah.
You fucking earthnoid!
Earthnoid.
Jesus!
You land dweller. Damn.
Oh, you
Holy-
terrestrial!
Terrestrial. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Grandpa hit me with the terrestrial, and I don't know how to
my
feel. Damn.
Holy shit.
I love this. I love this new lore.
Yeah, dude.
Well, back.
Oh, that's
dude.
great.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch the rest of this show.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm super excited.
It's been long enough.
It's been so long, and it feels the same way. I feel the same way about this as I do with Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla, I got some of the newest stuff. I bless you. Stop that. I said stop that, please. I'm playing. Is that we started on some of the newest stuff for Godzilla, some primo things, and a whole new lineup of movies.
My fatal flaw.
I wouldn't say the flaw. It got me hooked, and I think that was a great way of doing it. But I got to see some of the older stuff, and I got to see some of the classics and fan favorites. I got to see some great stuff, I'm able to go back to the new stuff with a new appreciation, having known some of the lineage that it came from, and going like, this is much more than just this. There's like 50 to, or I guess now what is like 60 years?
Oh God,
70 years. There's a lineage of this creature in people's lives.
Yeah,
so ubiquitous, with the whole genre, and I think it's so. And I feel the same way about Gundam, as I got to see at the time what was kind of some of the more newer things. Are you gonna sneeze again?
I don't know.
No.
Keep going.
It was interesting to be able to see what at the time was like one of the newer series of shows, and get to see some of like the prettiness of it, the cool suits, all the story-rich elements of that show, and then be able to go back into some of the older stuff and then get a feel for like what made this such a staple.
The beginnings.
Yeah. What made this kind of the cornerstone in mech anime. And now, I mean, and now knowing this whole, not only just the legacy of the show itself and the history and the impact that it's had, I'm also able to look back just the universal century history of like the in-universe stuff and know a little bit more about who's who and what's what and all that stuff. So now I'm gonna watch this show, I think, with a whole new set of eyes, really looking for those other little nuanced things that I missed the first round, which again also
dude, there's going to be some shit at the end that you're going to flip.
You're probably right. I totally forgot when we actually watched this show the first time. Was it when I came back from Canada?
It probably was, because I remember you were living at this house.
You weren't living here yet?
No.
Man.
I was just coming over every now and then.
Yeah.
Hanging out. Oh my God.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So that was probably sometime in 2019.
Probably.
Because I think in 2020 you moved in. Summer of 2020. I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The summer of 69.
Mine.
No.
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 None of that.
How long ago would that have been then? 5 years? 4 years?
If there was any... Oh, stop that.
Yeah, 4 years.
If there were any recollection... I don't remember.
That's crazy. I'm just trying to put a number to it.
Right.
Potentially 4 years ago is when I watched this show. And
potentially.
I'm just saying, it could be
the
anywhere.
Passage of time is convoluted in that Orlando.
'Tis a stream, and it flows ever onwards, to which you can never fully catch.
When do I get to the ocean?
Well, that's a loaded question. But anyways, is there anything else you want to add to this before we continue? I'm gonna need you to stop. What do you got?
I don't know. It's attacking me.
You want to go take a break?
No.
He's having a fit over here.
Oh, shut up.
I can't control it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I would just like to add that first reveal that this is in fact a Gundam.
Yeah.
After Benager makes his way through the mansion after delivering Minerva to the head of the Vis Foundation.
You just called her that, and I know exactly who you're talking about, but for a second I was like, we don't know that yet. I was like, we know her as Audrey.
Right. Well, just for
surprise.
The sake of, yeah. Whoopsie. After everything goes to shit, he is able to stumble upon the unicorn in its hangar.
Yeah.
Where his head of his school,
quote unquote, is, the heaviest quotation marks,
is getting everything prepped and ready to go, just so that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And the last fucking person he expects to see is his son.
Yep.
Of all people.
Which is Benager, our main character, of course.
And he's just like, well, shit.
Well, damn it.
Guess what, kiddo?
I'm shot.
Here's a birthday present.
I'm dying.
But hey, you get this cool mobile suit, right? Yeah, it's neat.
It's kind of cool, huh?
I'll make up for it.
Yeah.
The years that I spent estranged from you.
Damn.
So he gives this machine of war, this beast of possibility, to his only son. And it's keyed to his biometrics, so only he can pilot the damn thing.
Yeah.
And after which, the dude's been shot by one of his family members.
Family members?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Holy, I thought it was like a colleague.
No.
Damn.
No. But yeah.
Uncle Alberto just shot him, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Family matters.
Yeah, well, whatever happened to the ends of it?
Oh my God.
That's Full House.
Right.
For those of you who don't know.
It's a less Full House now.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
Because Uncle shot Dad.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Oh,
so yeah. Benager is now sitting with his father's blood on his face.
Yes.
With the revelation that was his fucking father.
Yep.
He's just...
And the cockpit closes.
Right.
And his dad, his corpse...
is now burning to a crisp outside.
Yep.
He's just like, well, I guess here I go.
Yep.
And he sets off in this thing. It's a maiden voyage.
Yep.
And he encounters the Kshatriya. Now, Marita, seeing this thing, is just like, I'm going to kill you now.
Right.
He's able to dodge all like the funnel beams, get right up in her face, grab both her hands, crush one that has the beam saber in there.
Super cool, dude.
And just force her outside of the colony.
Yeah. Force is the correct word. I mean, he goes full power.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing
Full
her
boost, out. Maxi boost on.
Not the maxi boost.
Oh, of course.
And of course, she is also like, finally, the freedom of space.
Right. In her element.
Yeah.
And she's got all her funnels lined up. Benager doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Nah. He just got finished crying.
Yeah. He had to come to terms. He had to mourn the loss of his father for also, like 5 minutes.
Also realizing he has a father still.
Yeah.
And then realizing you have this absolute killing machine in your hands. Which, I mean, he went there with the express purpose of trying to help Audrey. Mm-hmm. That's like his whole plan.
Oh, yeah.
He feels some
compelled.
sort of he feels some sort of special bond, and he feels compelled to try and protect Audrey, which makes sense.
Mm. Now, after all the chips are down, Benager's up against the proverbial space wall. All the funnels fire, but are somehow miraculously deflected by the newly discovered eye field.
Magic.
The eye field.
The eye field.
That the unicorn has.
It's just the force of will. You shoot me and just the
his
bullets.
Spiral energy.
Yeah, exactly. Your bullets just bend around me.
It's like one of those fucking, no, I dodged it. It's like, I got an anti-laser force field. You can't beat me.
I cast all my funnels on you. No.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then the unicorn pulls out the NTD system, new type destroyer, after it detects that, hey.
Is that what that stands for?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Really? I could have sworn I told you before.
I'm not gonna lie. You definitely have. I just forgot.
Yeah.
I was just called it NTD, and I just was like, it's just the
right.
It's
whatever.
Right.
But yeah, new type destroyer.
Right. You know what Toyota TRD is? TRD Pro. I don't
new
understand.
Toyota destroyer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a onboard system that scans whatever the suit is fighting, and if it meets the parameters to be classified as a new type, the system will activate and the machine will go berserk. It will bust out every possible weapon necessary to destroy whatever it's fighting.
I'm starting to realize I don't think I fully understood what NTD was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just like a special form to help, like that just boosted your abilities or whatever.
I mean, it does do that.
No, it does. But what I meant was I just thought that I didn't think that the suit thought that. I thought that it, like in other versions of Gundam, where it reads the pilot and it's like, oh, this person's in a panic, or this person's body is not, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like where I thought
regular biometric scans,
right? I thought
stuff like that. Nothing major.
I thought the parameters were different for the NTD to get started, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, this makes so much more sense.
Yeah,
I'm just dumb.
It reminds me of the biosensor built into the Zeta.
Yeah.
Where if the pilot is fucking pissed enough and knows enough ghosts, it can channel the souls.
Damn. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah,
You want to talk about ancient tech.
Yeah. Insane.
Right. Oh, yeah. You got a fancy NTD system. My suit back in the day used to work off of how my anxiety levels and how possessed I was.
Right.
You want to talk about a ghost ship? Freaking pirate ship back here.
Uh-huh. It brings up the
Crossbones Gundam style.
Yeah. It brings up the question of, are you piloting it or is it piloting you? Which is something Benager has to grapple with as the series progresses. But this first go around, man, it's just autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing whatever it needs to, like in whatever fashion it needs to.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's about the only thing I wanted to touch on. We'll tackle the rest of that, like the nitty gritty of it, in the next episode.
I feel they will be. I'm not trying to get too involved. I'm not trying to get too below the surface and talk about the greater. I was gonna say geopolitical. Well, I guess it'd be doing the astropolitical works of it all, because I know we're gonna get there eventually.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of episodes.
There will be scenes where people talk in rooms.
Yep.
And that'll be it.
That'll be it. Hearts will be broken.
Yep.
Relationships will be made.
Shields will shatter.
Oh, yeah.
Blades will bleed.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
What a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it has been too long.
Yes.
It has been too long since we had a sit-down chat. This felt good.
Oh, yeah. A return to form.
Now we just got to schedule some time to get ahead again.
Oh.
I got to figure out a time.
Any time, bro. I've got either...
I don't want to...
Oh, my God. Can you imagine a fucking morning episode? Oh,
I don't know if I can.
Jesus Christ.
Just
the only instance of that I can remember are the Back to the Future episodes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and like almost the Indiana Jones one we did with Ethan. Like that was still like... it was the latter half of the day.
You're right.
But it wasn't like dark.
You want to know another one we did? Was Tremors.
Really?
We watched that one in the early afternoon. I want to say we were halfway through watching that movie.
Oh my God, you're right.
When Mallory walked in the door from work.
Oh Jesus.
We started that one probably at
I completely
4
forgot.
o'clock or whatever. I will
Holy
never forget
shit.
that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We need to watch.
Our schedule's fucked, dude.
I mean, hey, there are some consistencies with this show.
Right.
One of them is that it comes out every Friday.
We are nocturnal.
Yeah, and
stupid.
It is what it is. I have a very special guest that I think wants to be a part of this show, and I had no idea that she would want to be a part of this show at all. I don't want to out her right now because I don't know if she's like I don't want to get too involved right now with all that kind of stuff. Okay. But if you're listening, just know I'm talking about you. Wink, wink. And to be honest, of all the shows that I thought that you would listen to, this isn't the one. I thought that to be honest, didn't think you're a podcast kind of person, or that you would even remotely enjoy listening to the show. But in talks with this person I'm referring to, she was like, "This is going to be like an all night kind of thing, right?" I know you guys refer to that in the show. And I was like, no. I told her, I was like, no, it isn't.
It's never by choice. This isn't scheduled that way.
I told her, I was like, no. I mean, like, we can definitely do it earlier.
Oh my God.
It just so happens that is how
I wouldn't be able to go to work if we did it like this every time.
No. But I just thought it was funny.
Jesus.
So anyway, because again, we refer to it as, I think it's also the fact that we have this ongoing joke of, I want you to
guess what time we're recording.
I want you to guess when we're recording.
Oh no.
When we're recording this show. So I got a good chuckle out of it.
Jesus.
It all happened over text message, and I was like, I definitely when I received the message about I should plan this appropriately, and I was like, no.
Oh my
trust
God.
me, I apologize. That is not I can plan the time better.
Right.
But anyways, so this feels good. I can't get enough.
Yeah.
It feels good to get back just to talk.
Oh yeah.
Well, on that note, for anybody
tune in for more child trauma and wartime exposure.
You want to know what
episode?
I think if there's one thing that we touch on a lot is
we specialize in it.
Child trauma.
I might as well have a fucking doctorate in child trauma.
There you go. There's a lot of shows we watch with that in there.
Too
but
many.
Anyways, it's good content.
It is.
But anyways, for anybody out there looking to reach out to us, you can just type in the Aftermath on all the major platforms, and you should be able to find us. Or you can go to Linktree /Ian Wolf. And you can find ways to reach out to us that way via social media. I should be around somewhere. I'm lurking on the internet somewhere. You can find me, trust me. But anyways, I'm trying to think of another way you can potentially look at the podcast, or you find the podcast.
Well,
I believe we've talked about finding one of the space colonies somewhere,
right.
but that's too
that's
too dangerous right now. Not in this atmosphere. Not in this political climate.
Oh no, indeed.
If you find your long lost dad,
right,
and
he'll give you a mobile suit.
Right.
You step inside the cockpit.
Yeah.
The screen, the monitors will reveal the podcast.
Right.
They won't play it for you, but they'll lead you to it.
Right. This one's a little more sensitive. I don't know who wants to do it. If you are actively running away from your current girlfriend to your new, not official, potentially new girlfriend, I'm pretty sure that the podcast will be somewhere along the way. And I think you'll only get that reference if you watch this first episode of Gundam Unicorn.
Jesus Christ.
But anyways, until next time, thank you so much for listening.
See ya.
Bye-bye.